2. Look at you. You're a subscriber. Thank you. I just want to say thank you for all of my subscribers, all 7 of you. We may be few, but we are mighty. Anyway. So today I'm going to be doing a review on Insurgent by Veronica Roth. Insurgent is a fantastic novel. I think better than Divergent. I think that her writing is just getting better and better, which is what you want in a series. My thing is, if the book at the end of the series is much better than the book at the beginning of the series, the author did something right. You should get better with time as an author. It just makes sense to me. This book really reminded me of a lot of dystopian novels. I know that everyone says, oh, it's just like the Hunger Games. Well, it's not just like the Hunger Games. I actually felt like this book was more in league with Animal Farm by George Orwell and Brave New World by that Huxley guy. So today I'm not really going to be talking about characters like I did last review. One, because I think that Veronica Roth wants us to talk about bigger things. At least that's what I want to talk about. And second of all, everyone died. See, this is the problem with reading. You get emotionally invested in people that aren't real. And then they die. Which is ridiculous because they didn't exist in the first place. So you're in this state of grief that can't be psychologically categorized. It's probably up there with falling in love with inanimate objects. The first thing that I want to talk about is that this book is all about social systems that systematically cause human suffering. If you give unregulated power to a certain group of people, which in this case, in Insurgent, are the factions, you belong if you're in a faction. Oh, but guess what? The system doesn't work right if you're factionless, if you're especially divergent. The point that Veronica Roth brought up in this book was that you don't take that unregulated power and just shift it to a new group of people. That defeats the whole purpose, because now all you have is just a new set of oppressors and a new set of oppressees. There's no real freedom there. And that's what we're left with at the end of Insurgent. That's very similar to a lot of the dystopian novels that we have. I don't know if you noticed, but at the end of Mockingjay, I'm not going to try to give away any spoilers, but this theme is very present within Mockingjay, in the Hunger Games trilogy. This theme is also very heavily done in Animal Farm by George Orwell. I don't know if you know or not, just spoiler alert, Animal Farm's all about communism. And how the Communist Party in Russia had really good intentions. They were going to make everyone free and blah blah blah, but the problem was they weren't going to make everyone free. They were going to make all the rich people pay for screwing them over for years. And that's what is brought up in this book, I think so well, that the people that are oppressed for so long, they stew in their misery. And you can really see it in the character of Evelyn. She's wound up, and she's twisted, and she's just angry and bitter. She's angry about everything that Marcus did to her. She's angry about what all of the factions did to her. She's just really mad. By the way, most interesting cliffhanger I've ever read. Well, no, Rick Riordan, who is the king of cliffhangers. I'd have to say, you're getting a run for your money. Veronica Roth knows what she's doing. I just really briefly want to talk about the theme of human nature that Veronica Roth brought up in this book. I don't know, I'm a little mixed about it, because I kind of got the feeling that she was saying that human nature can be fixed within human nature, which doesn't really make a lot of sense, but it's very humanistic of her, so, you know, that's good. I don't know. I'm really glad that she brought it up because it's really good for us to talk about. I don't really agree with her proposition. I don't think that human nature can be fixed by human nature. I just don't. So yeah, I thought the theme of human nature was brought up really well, which is a constant theme that's brought up by dystopian novels. So I know that Veronica Roth isn't doing anything new, but she's doing it in a really fresh way, which I really appreciate, because I feel like human nature is something that we as humans need to talk about more often. So I enjoyed that very much. And finally, I want to bring up the presence of religion in this book. Now, I picked up on it slightly in Divergent. I didn't really grab it as much as I did in Insurgent, because I think in Insurgent it was more in your face than it was in Divergent. But yeah, religion was in this book a lot. Tris reflects on the abnegations concept of God, which, as you can guess, is a very selfless God who loves his children very freely. And at the very end of the book, she is at the Amnesty compound where she witnesses an Amnesty religious service, which she gets involved in. Not willingly, of course, but the lady kind of grabs her and, you know, blesses her. But the cool thing is that Tris doesn't accept the blessing of this Amnesty woman. She runs away to the orchard thinking about how she's not worthy, and she has that selfless concept of God in her mind. And the woman very clearly says, it's not about you, and it's not about your worthiness. It's about the goodness of God and God's love being a gift to you, whether you want it or not. I gotta say, I was really pleasantly surprised, because I don't know if you've noticed or not, but YA fiction doesn't really deal with the presence of religion. I mean, I've noticed in my many reading of YA novels, if religion is there, it's usually a very negative view of religion, which is fine. Not everyone has the best experience with religion, and, you know, for as much human suffering that goes on in religions across the world, I completely get that. So we need to talk about the evils that religion does when God is not the center of our faith anymore. I think that's really important. But I really like that religion was a positive thing in this book. And obviously Tris is dealing with the fact that she doesn't feel like she's worthy to receive God's love and all of that stuff. But I felt like that was so great, because isn't that all of us? I mean, if you've ever thought about the existence of God, or, you know, if he is real, what that means for you and your life, I feel like everyone's gotten to the point where they think of all the things that they've done wrong, and it's really daunting to think about a God that doesn't care about those things as much as we do in terms of his love for us. So overall, this novel was fantastic. I loved it. I loved the characters that are, you know, dead and still alive. They were all fantastic. Everyone had character development in this book. Man, Tris and 4, you guys got some serious problems. But I feel like in this book versus other YA novels, it wasn't obnoxious. It wasn't like, oh, you think you know what to do, you're so dumb, I know what to do. Oh, I loved him all along, and I just couldn't tell him. Like, no, that didn't happen in this book. All of the fights, all of the confrontations that they had were very relevant to the story. Okay, so the things that I didn't like about this book, they're very few, so don't get all crazy on me. I did not like the detached first-person narration. I mean, yeah, when I got into, like, the heavy dialogue chapters and the chapters that had, like, everything going on, it wasn't really noticeable. So I got through it. I don't know, I think it works for dystopian novels better than any other type of book, but it's still kind of annoying. I wish she wouldn't do that, but I've already read a little bit of Allegiant. It's going to be there, so I just have to suck it up because these stories are so great. So it's worth it. I just wish it wasn't there. Not a big con, but don't like it. Any other things that I didn't like? No, this was a really, really, really good book. I'm really excited to read Allegiant. I will hopefully get my Allegiant review out in the next week and a half. Hopefully. So if you would like to subscribe to my channel to get more book reviews, please do. Please leave a comment down below. And please like, because it makes my day. Bye guys!